Thanks, Riaz. Good morning. It is 6:30. Langley Fire and Rescue is on the scene of a three-alarm fire in a barn this morning. Greg Harper joins us live from the scene with more. Greg?
Good morning, Jody. We have just arrived here at the scene. This is 48th Avenue and 236th Street in Langley. Behind me is what used to be a chicken barn. As you can see, this building, we understand it was quite large, about 400 square feet or so. It has collapsed. It continues to burn, and Langley firefighters are dealing with this. We're just gathering some information this morning. I've spoken to a couple of people who live nearby. They're both saying they heard multiple explosions at around 5 o'clock this morning and a large fire afterwards. I'm also hearing that this chicken barn was cleared out, and perhaps there was some welding equipment inside of the building. We will try and speak to somebody from the Langley Fire Department as this morning progresses here. It looks as though they've contained it. The danger was something like this. Obviously, there's lots of large trees in this area. However, this fire continues to burn. When we get more information, we will certainly bring that to you. Jody?
All right, thanks so much. Greg Harper reporting live for us this morning. 2 people are dead after 2 separate crashes in Langley overnight. Just after 1 o'clock this morning, a car rolled over at 208th Street and 16th Avenue. Man died when he was ejected from the vehicle. The cause of the crash is under investigation, but it's believed road conditions were fine at the time. An elderly pedestrian is dead and another is in hospital after an early accident in Langley last night. They were hit by a car while crossing 72nd Avenue at 198 B Street. An 83-year-old man eventually died in hospital while a 79-year-old woman remains in stable condition. The driver stayed on scene and is cooperating with police. It's believed the setting sun may have contributed to the crash and the lack of traffic light at the intersection.
There's actually no sidewalk on this part here, so I always tell my wife when she takes the kids for a walk to always be careful because there's no sidewalk and cars are always driving around the side, and there's no lights. There's actually no lights this way. There's no sidewalk, and that's probably what it is.
The Langley RCMP crash reconstruction team was on the scene for several hours last night. The department's victim services is helping the driver and family of the 2 pedestrians. Ridge Meadows RCMP no longer believe a man died from a hit and run on Wednesday. That was what they initially suspected when his body was found in a ditch off the Lougheed Highway along with his bicycle. But there's no evidence of foul play or any indications he was hit by a car. Investigators are reportedly looking into the possibility he had a pre-existing medical condition. A Burnaby Tim Hortons will be shut down today after an overnight fire. Flames broke out just after 4 o'clock this morning on the Lougheed Highway near Gilmore. Crews arrived to find the coffee shop engulfed in smoke, and they believe it was caused by an electrical issue in the ceiling. Luckily, no one was injured. Bus drivers are happy with the punishment given to a man responsible for a brutal attack earlier this year. 26-year-old Sean Tyler Quay has been sentenced to 2 years in jail for assaulting a driver near the Newton Exchange. The victim was left with severe facial injuries. Quay has a history of addiction and criminal offenses. His lawyer claims he was drunk and high during the attack. He entered a surprise guilty plea at his trial in New Westminster yesterday after testimony from a friend who was on the bus with him. Teachers are apparently not locked out of their schools and have not been for quite some time. That's according to the BC Public School Employers Association. The employer says the lockout was lifted at the end of August following a meeting between the BCTF, the Education Minister, and the BC government's lead negotiator. The union was then urged to end its strike action. However, just yesterday, the BCTF's president said his members were still locked out. The employer then released a statement saying, quote, "There's nothing preventing teachers from returning to work and resuming their full duties," end quote. School support workers, on the other hand, have a rare opportunity to go to work this morning. It appears picket signs will be going down at various school districts, including Vancouver elementary schools, as striking teachers attend study sessions and a rally. This is the first time most of BC's 27,000 CUPE education support workers will be on the job since mid-June. As the teacher strike drags on, a lot of people have been suggesting that more pressure should be put on the BC Court of Appeal to speed up its decision on class size and composition. The appeal is set to be heard in mid-October, but one expert says the court needs a fair opportunity and enough time to digest all of the arguments for and against E80.
At the same time, the courts are well aware of the urgency of certain matters, and it's up to the lawyers to tell the courts that, tell a court that there's some urgency in a particular case. And the judges live in the community. The judges are reasonable, and they'll listen to the lawyers.